Hi class, today I'm going to be giving a speech on the pros and cons of video games. This is for anyone who is interested in learning about the good and bad of many different types of video games. So without further ado, I'm going to start my speech. A lot of people like video games, all different ages, everyone, but most think video games are for the younger crowd, which may be true, but plenty of middle-aged and even elderly people still enjoy sitting down and playing a game or two. Most of the population that doesn't like playing games believe that the people who do are either lazy or just wasting their time or even immature and have nothing else going on with their lives. And I say this not only from seeing it online and social media, but from personal experience. But I'm here to help you realize that games can be a good thing for you and your children and help you figure out which ones are helpful and harmful to society, education, and help you build on skills and which ones are just kind of there for no reason. First thing is first, when looking at video games, you can throw the maturity rating out of the window. If you're a strict parent who does not want their kids playing anything with any questionable content, then ignore that last statement. But the ratings are not always warning that there is really horrible content in that game. It is mostly to save the company from getting sued, just in case someone would find something questionable, such as a simple bottle that resembles a beer bottle, or someone smoking in the background of the game, or even just an ashtray sitting in the corner with a butt of a cigarette. This can jump the maturity level tremendously. Something so small. If a game would normally be rated E has just one of these small things in it, and E means E is for everyone, that can jump it up to T, which is for teens. Or nowadays even, people are being so careful that ashtray with just ashes, old ashes in it, can bump the maturity level from E or even T to M, which is mature, or 17 and older, I think is what they have it as. So taking that into consideration, and what you really want to do with these games is, once you look at the maturity level, under that, sometimes on the back or sometimes it waits until you actually start the game, it will have a list of what it has in it. And in that list, it will contain something like violence, blood, sexual content, strong language, partial or even full nudity. Now, in the partial nudity, I have a problem with that because now not all games are this careful with it, but one of the games, and I cannot remember what it is called, I bought a few years back for me and my cousin to play. My cousin is younger than me. He was about 14 at the time, and I believe this game was rated T for teen. And when we went to start playing the game, that list came up, and partial nudity was listed. And so that worried me, and I told him, I was like, sorry, we can't play this game. I don't know how your parents will feel about it. Let's just find something else. And I felt so bad because he was looking forward all day to playing that game, but we just had to find something else. And so we did. But later, I played the game by myself, and I paid attention to just try to see how bad this partial nudity was. And when I got playing the game, the closest thing to partial nudity in this game was a girl in a crop top and jeans. And when I say crop top, I mean it showed like 2 or 3 inches of her stomach. Showed just enough for the navel and maybe an inch above. Her pants weren't low riding. Her shirt was not low cut. It was kind of quarter sleeve, and it was just ridiculous. There was nothing else, nothing in the background, no bikinis, no, tiny shorts, nothing. It was just her navel showing. And I disappointed my cousin all because their partial nudity was 3 inches of a girl's stomach that you saw for about 5 minutes in the game. Now, some people may think that's partial nudity, which I understand. I mean, I'm not here to judge you on what you think is inappropriate or not, but to me, you know, it's just some companies are too careful, if you ask me. So you can't always go by what they list either. But if you're worried about what your children may be playing and you're interested in video games too, play that game first. Or nowadays, you can go online and watch a YouTuber play the full game for you and see whether or not that this is actually something that you worry about your children playing or not. Now, let's go into a few games that are helpful towards your education skills and things that you would want to play or you would want your children to play. Now this is just my opinion, and your opinion may be different, but some of these are teetering on the edge of completely inappropriate to actually some of it's educational. It's really up to you what you want to play and what you want your kids to play. But what I find educational is any puzzle solving game. There's so many games. Most games have puzzle solving in them. That's what's fun about them. You have to start your critical thinking skills into figuring out how to get from A to B, how to get up on that ledge. You have to figure out patterns and the secret ways of doing all this stuff in this game. And one of the games that I found the most fun that has a lot of puzzle solving situations in it and a lot of critical thinking is Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker. Love that game. It's on Wii U or the GameCube if you have a GameCube. And yes, it is cartoony. It's based for a younger crowd, I guess you would say, but I mean, I'm 20 and I love it. My boyfriend loves it. He's 24, so it's just wonderful. And there's just a lot of critical thinking in it. You can't go through that game just mindlessly wandering around. You have to think. You have to plan. You have to pay attention. And I just think that's such a good thing for children, parents, everyone to have in their day-to-day activities. And so, critical thinking helps kids grow up and use that, helps, elderly people keep their mind working and strong, and I just think it's wonderful. Another one, and a lot might disagree with me here, but first-person shooters, or just shooters in general. Shooters help your hand-eye coordination, help you pay attention, really look, really, just keep an eye out, and it keeps, once again, keeps you thinking, keeps you paying attention. You can't just mindlessly play the game, and I think it's really good, for everyone. Now, yes, there's some first-person shooters that are completely vulgar, completely nasty, don't want kids to play them. You don't want to play them, which is understandable. But not all first-person shooters. And so you really have to take in mind, yes, if there's a lot of sexual content or a lot of, blood, which most games, if it has blood, there's an option to turn that off. So parents, if you want to get your kids a game that possibly has blood, look into that game and see if there's a way you can turn that off, because 9 times out of 10 you can. But don't just completely knock off first-person shooters, because I know that they're is saying that first-person shooters will has a correlation to kids growing up and becoming murderers or wanting to use a gun more. Which, yes, I can kind of see, kids, ooh, the gun's found on here, that I want to get a hold of the gun. But studies show that there's not a high correlation between the two. Just because your kid plays a first-person shooter at a young age does not mean they're going to grow up to be a mass murderer. There's more that goes into that than just playing a first-person shooter game. So don't knock that off. It does help your hand-eye coordination and for kids to pay attention close and look closely into things. And the last thing is most games with tedious tasks. Yes, that sounds awful. Who wants to sit here, have tedious small bits of tasks to do? But in games make it fun. And that helps kids build on their strategies and builds on their patience. Oh my gosh, everyone, it seems, nowadays has small patience. Kids have an app, Vine, that they watch videos for 6 seconds. So they want, everything just hurry up, quick. Heaven forbid there be a commercial on TV and stuff. Yes, they are getting long, but still, heaven forbid that there's a commercial anymore. And so tedious tasks in games kind of help people build their patience. Not only kids need this, but everyone needs this. And I think that is just one of the most important things about the games, besides the puzzle solving and building on your critical thinking. But now we get into the negatives, the cons of the video games. Yes, games can make you sit for a long time lazy, but Xbox and PlayStation, everyone has come up with video games that you move around and you get exercise. Yes, it costs a little bit more, but those games are fun, and especially with kids who just want to play games, that's a great way to get them up and moving. So, yeah, you can't be lazy, but there is a solution for that. So, alright, online shooters. Yes, I love Black Ops. It has a lot of positives, such as you are working on your team skills and working together, and once again, strategies, problem solving, everything. But when you get into an online chat room, you can't help the cussing, you can't help the vulgar language and just the profanity and stuff that is on an online chat room. Yes, you can help your kids, or even if you have a small group of people that you play with that you know personally, that can help in these online chat rooms. But if someone's going to play online just all over the world, you cannot help your kids but to hear the nasty things, and they can pick up some nasty things, and it's just, you kind of want to stay away and steer clear from these online shooters. Anything that you can talk in an online chat room, be kind of eerie of. Most fan-made games, and what I mean by this, mostly on PC, your computer is where you get these fan-made games. I don't believe there's any for consoles. There may be, but they're very rare, and just no one's going to waste their time to produce a console game and sell them in stores or anywhere really for a fan-made game. Fan-made games are normally just little silly things that have almost no meaning, if any meaning, and they, they focus on one thing, just killing, like, how can I kill this person again? Some are like, how can I make my boss mad today? Like, those are just meaningless, pointless games that have no positive values in them. Yes, someone created it, but it's just, some are just awful and there's no point to them. And those are kind of the ones you want to definitely steer clear from your kids, just because, like I said, it has no positive value in them. Not all are like this. Some fan-made games are really, really thought out, helpful. A lot are puzzle solving, I've noticed, but just not most 9 times out of 10. Just try to steer clear of fan-made games. In a game without true motive, like I said, mostly fan-made games are just there's no reason to play them. That is the true meaning of wasting your time. And I don't know why people would waste their time making them if they have no meaning or no story or no, solving or anything in it. It's just someone kind of just made it to make it, and those have no true, normally they have no true harmful, like, values for you to take in, and it, doesn't harm or help your education. They're just honestly a waste of time. So, all in all, when you are looking for a video game for you or your children, like I say, you don't have to always worry about the maturity level. You don't always have to go by what other people say or think. Yes, a lot of people think first person shooters bad. Not all of them are. You really have to take it into consideration, like your personal feelings against negativity and positivity, and what you want to learn and what you want your kids to learn and stuff. So, like I said, jump on YouTube, watch a YouTuber play a game if you're worried about your kids playing something and you don't want to play it, and just realize that not all games are bad. People that play video games are not lazy. They are working on skills that, yes, don't always provide not nutritional, but health benefits, but some do. Zumba, you can have a Zumba class on your console and not have to pay the $40 a month to go to a Zumba class. There are pros and cons to almost every game, and in my personal opinion, the pros weigh out the cons. So I helped you figure out the next time you're going out to buy a video game to not just knock off the M games, to not judge that person who is playing video games when they get home from work instead of, cooking dinner or just doing the laundry or gardening. Just realize that games aren't as bad as you think and give them a shot. You may like them too. I hope I helped you change your mind and see a different side of video games. Hope you have a good day.